Hello and welcome to my review of The World Is Not Enough. The World Is Not Enough is the 19th film in the James Bond franchise, and not only is it incredibly severely underrated in my opinion, it also has one of the best title songs in the entire franchise, and I think people do know this, but it also has a lot of unused ones. Well, a big one that I want to talk about that I listen to all the time is The World Is Not Enough by Straw. Just going to play you a quick snippet from The World Is Not Enough by Straw because I think it's a brilliant song. If you want to find the song, just type into, it's not been officially released anywhere, just type into YouTube, "The World Is Not Enough Straw," and it should come up. Here you go. "The World Is Not Enough" by Straw. The world is not enough. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. The world is not enough. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. The world is not enough. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. The world is not enough. A mile for the man without breath, put a gun in his hand. So yeah, that was just a little snippet from Straw's "The World Is Not Enough." I think "The World Is Not Enough" as a film is really fantastic. I think its villain is incredible with one of the more different villains, and I have to admit that it definitely stands out in terms of when you look at the villains. There wasn't enough villain stands out, and the way it was set up also stands out in making it an incredibly engaging story and a great setup. And it just makes you really, the way they set it up and the way they use the story points to make you feel for this character, and then the way you see it is one way, and then it just gets turned upside down, and you get shown it in a completely different light. Is brilliant, and I think obviously this is Electra King, played wonderfully by Sophia I can't pronounce her name, but Sophia something. Sophie Macau, I think I'm going to say it is, but I don't think that's right. Yeah, but she's wonderful. She's beautiful too, so that's fun. Yeah, but she plays the character really well, and she's not a femme fatale because she's not a side character. She is the main villain. Renard isn't the main villain. Although Renard is set up to be the main villain, it's not. He's not the main villain. The main villain is actually the main villain is obviously Electra. But I think that obviously there was a. If you watch Catherine Dyson, I suppose, and if you really watch Catherine Dyson, you know that there was obviously a deleted scene for The World Is Not Enough during the pre-title sequence that would show that Renard was the person who saved Bond early in the film. We do find it out later on when Bond interrogates Renard in the chemical facility thing underground. Renard tells him then, but obviously we would have found out at in the beginning of the pre-title sequence that it was Bond that saved. It was Renard that saved Bond in that scene. But I think director Michael Apted says it the best that scene was cut because obviously it was just a weak introduction to the villain when you have a much better introduction to the villain later on in the film. There was no need to have that scene there as an introduction for him because it would have just been really weak. But yeah, I think obviously I also am so happy to see the return of one of my personal favourite allies, and was so close to getting the best Bond ally thing in the 007 25-day challenge that I've been doing on Instagram. But I just think that Colombo tops him by just a little bit. But yeah, and that is, of course, Valentin Zukovsky, played by wonderful Robbie Coltrane. Of course, you also got the very controversial Dr. Christmas Jones, played by Denise Richards, who is very much the obviously people don't. She can't act, but she's beautiful. So it's sort of one or the other, not both. So I mean, there you go. And she certainly doesn't seem someone who would be a nuclear physicist. So that's the thing. But and also on as much as it marks some first, as well as it being the first film to be written by Neil Purvis and Robert Wade, who have written every Bond film since then, including the upcoming No Time to Die, which released on October 8th, 2021 in the States, and September 30th, 2021 in the United Kingdom and other territories. But other than that lovely bit of advertising, what I meant to say is that although it marks the first of those two guys, it also marks a very sad last, and that is obviously the final of a incredible 17 film run for Desmond Llewellyn as Q. And obviously, at this point, there had been 19 films, and he'd been in 17 of them, and that was because he wasn't in Doctor No, because he wasn't cast in Doctor No. Obviously, that's all clearly because they wanted Peter Burton was casting Doctor No, and then he didn't come. He wasn't available for Marshall of Love, so Desmond came along and history was made. But you may be thinking, well, surely he's in every other film after that. That is true, except for some unknown fucking reason. He is not in Live and Let Die. I mean, Moneypenny does his job. He gives Bond the gadget. She doesn't explain it, but she gives Bond the gadget at the beginning of his film and at the beginning of the film, and then for some reason he's not in. I'm surely they could have fit him in, but obviously he's not in the world. He's not in Live and Let Die. So that's the thing. But yeah, it was the final. This is the final appearance of Desmond Llewellyn as Q, who was unfortunately killed in a car accident shortly after the film's release. So yeah, sad. And in other more recent news as well, involving actors' deaths. Obviously, me stating this will considerably age this review. For it will just make it will age it quite a lot because recently yesterday it was announced that Yaphet Kotto, who played Dr. Kananga in Live and Let Die, sadly passed away at the age of 81. So yeah, rest in peace to a legend. He was also in Alien as well. So very sad to hear the death of Dr. Kananga, the actor who played Dr. Kananga. But there you go. That's just the thing I want to mention. That it's going to date this video a lot. But anyway, back to The World Is Not Enough. The film's score is the second in the franchise to be composed by David Arnold, who he presents a less Barry-esque score and a more modernised score, which is okay in some parts, but I'll always prefer Tomorrow Never Dies for being a very Barry-esque score, and that's what he was going for. So I'll always maintain that both Tomorrow Never Dies and Casino are Arnold's best one scores. And then I think then it goes, World Is Not Enough, Down of the Day, Quantum of Solace, because I haven't heard the Quantum of Solace score in a long time. And again, I mean, I'll be hearing it soon. But yeah, soundtracks are Gun Barrel, Bond Has Left the Building, Show Me the Money, / Come In 007. Now I say Show Me the Money, / Come In 007, Your Time Is Up. Now I say these together, that's not actually a full track name. That's what I just combined the two, because when you listen to the tracks, at least on the 2 CD released by 2 CD complete score released by La La Land Records, Show Me the Money transitions, the end of Show Me the Money transitions directly into, like when you play Come In 007, Your Time Is Up, you're missing the first few beats because I like the first few bits of that song because they're in. Okay, let me just show you. It's easier to just show you. It's easier to just fucking show you. Let me just find The World Is Not Enough original motion picture soundtrack, which of course I have on my phone. Why would I not? But yeah, damn. I'm on Dine of the Day. That's not right. So we have Show Me the Money, which, if I just show you what I'm talking about here, this is the end of Show Me the Money, and that's the start of Coming 007 Times Up. So you get what I'm trying to say is that obviously they sort of blend together and technically should be one full score, but your time is 007 is already a long ass track because it's 5 minutes long, so I can understand why. But still, those are not the same track, but they blend together, so that's why I put them together. Gun Barrel Elements and Orbis Non-Sufficient, which obviously they're all tracks from the 2 CD La La Land release, and I'm very happy to own both the La La Land releases, so I had to actually buy the Night of the Day one from Discogs.com. Anyway, away from that, to conclude, I think The World Is Not Enough. It is fun. It's great action, a great plot, and I think it's really worth a look back on because you'll find yourself enjoying it a lot more, especially with the music, the title song. The actors in it are brilliant. Robbie Coltrane is brilliant. My favourite dialogue from this film is brilliant. There's a brilliant scene. Electra is torturing Bond in the chair. Bond is sat in the chair, and Electra says, "I could have given you the world," and then Bond says, "The world is not enough." And then she goes, foolish sentiment. And Bond says, family motto. So it goes like, that's me saying it with each character, but here's the full thing from both characters. I could have given you the world. The world is not enough. Foolish sentiment, family motto. And I just think that's brilliant because that is Bond's family motto. And I think there is no other set of words in the English language dictionary that could describe James Bond in a nutshell than the world is not enough, which is also what happens, which is also what Orbis Non-Sufficient actually translates to. Orbis Non-Sufficient, actually, that's what that says, is what that actually directly translates to, which is fun. But yeah, What Is Not Enough is just a brilliant film. I think it's just really underrated in terms of, like I've said this before, Pierce, I said the most steady Bond film on a done other day is not the best, but I found myself enjoying it a lot more when I rewatched it the other day. And it's not that I've ever hated it, but I just find myself having a lot more fun with The World Is Not Enough there. Then I suppose. But yeah, just while I'm here, I'd love to just say that I've been having great fun doing this Bond series. Obviously, we're coming to an end now because I'm moving into the final. In the world of the Blu-rays that I'm watching these on, we're moving into the final box, which is the Casino Royale 2 Spectre set. So we are moving into the final period of the James Bond franchise, and we have the highest of highs in Casino Royale, Skyfall, the middlest of middles in Spectre, and the lowest lows in Quantum of Solace, from what I remember. By the way, my opinions of this film is probably, some of them I haven't seen in a long while, and obviously what I'm trying to say is that I never, basically what this sentence is trying to tell you is that I never watch Quantum of Solace, and I only ever watch it when I'm doing a Bondathon. I don't sit down and want to watch Quantum of Solace in my own spare time because it's not a very good film. But just as an interesting, just like an idea for a Bond fan, if there are any Bond fans out there that have watched the film so many times that it gets bored watching them in order, something I did a while ago that I found a lot of fun was I got this thing called I went online, I went into this thing called Wheel of Names, and I wrote every single the name of every single James Bond film. Obviously now I've got the MCU show. That's another thing to do. But I wrote the names of every single James Bond film that's been released, including the spoofs and the unofficial stuff. And I also put No Time to Die on there for some reason. But I compiled all of them onto one big wheel, and I span the wheel, and it picked what ones I watched. I watched them in random order, so I've never had the same order. I've only done it once. I want to do it again because it was a lot of fun to just get Doctor No and then be given, then push all the way through to I don't know, Octopussy, and then be pushed back to Goldfinger, and then push forward to License to Kill. Just it's fun. Okay, so I was just doing it, and I'm also going to do it with the MCU at one point. But yeah, thank you guys for listening to this review. The podcast episode 2 is coming out on Saturday. Well, we're going to record it on Saturday at least, hopefully. Yeah, that's fun. We're going to be recording it on Saturday the 20th of March, and it should definitely release on that day as well if Orson Wolf is doing his job properly. Thank you guys for listening. Again, like you can clearly tell, whenever I talk freehand about the films, they reach around about 12 minutes roughly. Yeah, have a good day, guys, and bye-bye.